support to bring it to that Game 5 and see if they can't turn out on top of this best-of-5 series.
Well, if they get to that next control, it's not going to be Oasis. It's going to be one of the control maps that Bazooka Puppiez has crushed on, Lijiang or Nepal, perhaps. So a lot of interesting things on the line as we throw through Hollywood here, Pioneer Hotel, County Jail. Which one do you think you'd find me in?
The jail.
Okay.
Is there any question? I just feel like you would be in the jail for all sorts of reasons, and I can't even repeat on
I'd be in the jail for burning down the hotel is probably what would happen. I'm a big fan of arson.
It would be arson, or it would just be leaving a bagel in the toaster.
Yeah, I know. I mean, these toasters nowadays, they have like anti-fire control and everything. You couldn't burn your bagel if you tried.
I mean, you say that, and yet our toaster today was smoking. I saw Monty just look at his bagel and wonder, is it going to survive? And no, it was incinerated.
Someone did burn a bagel today. I don't know who did that. I had no problems with it. I put it in and I hit the button. I don't know who is messing up toasting. I mean, when you...
It's not a user error. That toaster is bad.
Look, there's being bad at cooking, and then there's failing to toast something. And that's a whole different ballgame.
When you set the toaster to 4 and it sets your bagel to black char, I'm sorry, that is on the toaster.
All right. Well, defensively, Rubicon is on the Ana. He's played a lot of different heroes today, so Ana on them. They will run just the very basic 2-2-2 that we've seen. The Ana being the only kind of difference, and 2-2-2 on the other side as well. Still no Genji, Snillo on the 76.
We'll see just how effective this defense can be for Bazooka Puppiez. It would be a shot in the arm for them if they could have a big hold here. But 1-2-3, just coming up, relatively straightforward. They lead the way with Winston, and Tonic is able to get out. He gets healed up. That's what you need from Winston play. Good engages and disengages. This opens them up for a secondary engage, diving to Cafe, and though they get the sleep in the back, Snillo gets woken up and is still very much in this fight.
I have no idea how they even got that sleep. That was an interesting Hail Mary of a dart that does knock him down. They are able to demech the Diva, which is the best thing that Snillo's heard all day. Gonna celebrate by Helix and Kenzie too. It's been Snillo's world. We're just living in it. The barrier comes down to secure this point, and unless Ube gets a clutch play, well, here's a clutch play.
He's in the middle of it. He built up a really quick Dragon Blade, and though it's still looking really grim, and perhaps a little bit more so as Diva literally right on his butt there, that it gave the potential of bringing this back. And still, you have Kenzie in and around here. Probably not likely as 1-2-3 is burning even more ultimates to go in. They use the Primal Rage to clear it out, which is almost a win for Bazooka Puppiez, even in the face of defeat, where they burn that last ultimate. But it's still a very quick attack coming out here from 1-2-3.
There is no running from a Diva. It's what makes her so terrifying. You think you can escape, and you can't. Boost is too good. Snillo does hit his jump right there. Celebrates by saying hello. So he's going to get the high ground. And this is where the micro battle between Mete and Snillo is going to have to take place.
Well, Mete is a long way away from getting his self-destruct, at least for this next fight. 1-2-3 working with Wall momentum. And this is where, for Hollywood, you need to take advantage. They're going to get bullied off the high ground here, though, so it's a nice take from Bazooka Puppiez. Yeah. They give themselves a defensive advantage back, and though they're down in ultimates, if they could get one pick off, it would be big. Here comes the self-destruct, though. Down the middle, it's dodged. Kodak not getting what he wants here, and the Puppies, though a little bit winded here, Hex, still have 6.
They still have 6. They did a good job of pushing them off the roof, and now they're just going to take the fight to the ground. Can Snillo find targets, gets very low, gets healed up, tries to find a little bit, deflect down, and from behind, Snillo taken out. However, softened up some targets, not over yet.
This is very good trading out for 1-2-3 here, where, yeah, they might have lost a few people. Mete might have demeched a Diva, but it doesn't really matter. 1-2-3 is a respawn advantage, and they win the fight cleanly. This puts Bazooka Puppiez in a do-or-die situation for defending second.
As you mentioned, Puppies came in over the top, but they ended up popping ultimates in very strange positions. Of course, the Blade is a possibility again from Ube. He's had it all day. Sometimes he is rolling high. It's really just a matter of can he get the 3 or does he get the 0? Looking for a little bit of poke right now. Soundberry should be there to deny it, though.
Ube is going to be rolling those dice here in just a moment. He's looking for his opportunity to dive to the back, and 1-2-3 actually being very passive here from him. They back out and heal. They're giving themselves a better chance of re-engage. I like the gameplay coming out from them here, but no, they're not able to get the barrier down. No beats will be dropped, and Meza gets his man in the back, and Ube is going to make sure that this fight goes their way.
Actually pretty fine with this from 1-2-3's perspective, because they did lose very early, Denia, so no sound barrier, but they didn't throw anything after it. They didn't try to bring it back. They knew that that fight was lost immediately. Now look at the advantage they banked.
So Hex, if you're Bazooka Puppiez here, what do you do to deal with double support ultimates coming your way right up the mid? Look at the stagger, though.
Yeah.
Kodak, bit lucky to get away.
Well, this is just another Dragon Blade from Ube, and this is what he can bring. He's so good sometimes, and it's just been a consistency problem for him. They have everything here. I think you always try to open with Pulse Bomb. That's been my ethos for a while, because you can force out ultimates.
Well, they do open the Transcendence mistakes, holds onto that Pulse Bomb, doesn't find a willing target, and Bazooka Puppiez just trying to ride out the storm here. Both support ultimates have been used, and now they can come back in with a barrier of their own. Mistakes falling to Rubicon, some sweet revenge on the way, and Bazooka Puppiez might have just found a great way of holding here. They survived the storm by avoiding it.
It's just, I guess, good retreat there for them to be able to get out and get those resets. Rubicon has also contributed to this as well. As we check the status, we are about 2 minutes out on Hollywood's second here, and all the ults for 1-2-3 just used. Going to be difficult for them to get back in an ultimate advantage position.
Max, this is a disaster right now for 1-2-3. That was their window. Yep. They had everything up. Now they only have 1:50 left. They're not going to be able to build all that up in time.
No, they're never going to have the advantage again.
Yeah, and Bazooka Puppiez, they can end them with a blade going in here.
Speed of Blade, Ube's got it yet again. Rubicon has done a decent amount of work, so he's gonna have Transcend up here too. Ube does spot out the flank. They're gonna take a different angle here. He's already down to half health as this wins and has to get chased out. Wow, probably gets a giant hack and still just a very hesitant engage.
They're scared of Ube right now. That's the one. But wait, they just transcended. No, they weren't ready. 1-2-3 was in retreat. Why do you transcend there? I don't get it. Now 1-2-3 is coming back in, but this is all sorts of weird here on many levels. 1-2-3, they're able to get 2 kills. They stop Ube mid-Dragon Blade. So now, even in a fight that was looking like it was going against them, they're able to come back in because the Transcendence was used so early. I don't know what I'm watching half the time.
You're watching Rubicon's Transcendences. They've been poor all day. That one, no exception. Apparently, the communication's simply not there from this team. This is a Transcend that comes in for the offense to try to close out, get second point. There's some decent stall coming out here from Mete, but again, they've been poor. They've been, I don't know what else to say, and I don't want to pile on.
This fight should not have gone down the way it is, but Kodak with the exclamation point towards the end, cleaning up Bazooka Puppiez. Oh man, Bazooka Puppiez, they were on the path, Hex, to having a hold on second. They dealt with the push from 1-2-3 that had the most ammunition behind it. And then they just transcend in the weirdest of ways. They don't use a blade to follow it up. They use it in the alleyway. And now they've given new life to 1-2-3 when there really shouldn't be. Rubicon
wants to be more aggressive than the rest of his team wants to be. And it's difficult to play that way as a Zenyatta. Here comes another self-destruct over the top. This one grabs a couple here. Comes off the screen, and then, hello, goodbye. 2 people go down to that. It's just, yeah, Rubicon wants to fight more often than the rest of his team does, and they haven't communicated it well enough.
Well, the sooner you transcend, the sooner you can die, and maybe Rubicon has some sort of death wish. I don't know, but this fight taking place rather deep here. Bazooka Puppiez, they use the sound barrier, dive in, but they pick up 0 kills from it. 1-2-3 is able to deal with it. Very good staggering being done here by Tonk to just throw people out. However, Bazooka Puppiez keeping on the pressure. The problem is that they have to give up ground. 1-2-3 is still able to push this forward.
I mean, keep it on the pressure, I guess, but this card's been moving non-stop from second here. Here comes another aggressive Transcendence comes in. This time, they're going to pair it with Ube. He's going to get 1, and that's Snillo out of the mix. Ube will go down, though, as Mistake's able to hunt him down. So, use 2 ults, got 1 kill, not the greatest.
No, it's not, and the problem is with the offensive Transcendence is that you're not giving respect to the other Zen that has it, and still with the Dragon Blade, you're not going to get much going into an enemy Transcend, even if you're getting healed yourself. It's just weird decisions as 1-2-3. They are not being dislodged here so far, Hex. They are keeping on the assault, and Bazooka Puppiez quickly running out of ammunition to actually pull this back, and now both teams, or no, just 1-2-3, they're gonna break it down, and they get an early kill off it. It's what they needed.
They're just walking back off the cart. They've given them so much free push here. Mistake's able to take down 2. This is looking terrible. And they will self-destruct, ride it all the way home, finish it with 4.9 left.
That's actually very big. If they could have just stalled it out for even a few more seconds, they would be giving themselves a much bigger victory condition the way that extra round rules work on hybrid. So
they were just being pushed around like they were on roller skates. They just kept backing up and backing up and backing up, never really pressed the issue and fought. Rubicon tried to fight a couple times. His team wasn't with it. Here's the tragic thing about Rubicon's Transcendences today is that he's actually been fragging out aside from that. Yeah. Like, he's been killing Tracers who've been trying to come in. His regular Zenyatta play has been solid.
Well, the reason why we've been able to comment on so many of his Transcendences is that he's building them at an above average rate. normally you'd be having a great Zen game. The problem is that I don't know if it's the bloodlust he gets from just building the Transcendences so quickly, but as soon as he goes, he's like, I need to go in deeper. The sooner I use this Transcendence, the sooner I can build a new one.
I thirst for more. It's a correctable problem, but it's, I don't know. I mean, this is it for them. They need to correct it now. The Transcendences have been... He just wants to fight. I respect it. He wants to go in and he wants to be aggro. He's been leading the charge on a lot of these things, but his team has not been on the same page. So just a communication issue is generally what is happening here with Rubicon. We'll see what they are able to put up on the offense. And I don't know if this is actually what the defense is going to run, but we have a... we had a Roadhog sighting. Poor Hog.
How times have changed. There was a time, Hex, where we saw Roadhog pretty much everywhere, and you have dive meta come out, you have teams decide they don't want to run them as much, and then suddenly you have a case where actually Roadhog gets nerfed a little bit in the eyes of most pro players, so you just don't see him, period.
I think he'll be back a little bit. I think he's still got a role, just not necessarily the one-man apocalypse that he once was. All right, so offensively, not a whole lot. I'd be a little surprised if it's okay. Sure, Mete is going to run a Pharah here, and they're going to run it with triple DPS. Kenzie and Ube on their main DPS, but that's going to put a lot of pressure on Clanton on the ground because Mete is going to need a lot of orb attention.
Right, and that's the one thing that's really worth noting is that you don't have a Mercy with this either. So if Pharah dives in deep and dies early, you don't have that erasing mistake button that you would normally have. So this is interesting. We'll see if it works out. It certainly 1-2-3 probably isn't expecting the Pharah, and Snillo goes down immediately to the combined Genji Pharah dive, and this gambit has worked out well.
Yeah, Ube was able to clean up the mess there, but so far, yeah, not impressed with Mete though. It took him 3 rockets to almost kill a Zenyatta. That should not be the case, especially at the close quarters he was. Luckily, he did get erased by the Genji coming in there, but yeah, those need to hit. Those need to hit better than that.
The problem is too, Bazooka Puppiez wasn't able to pull back after they got those kills. 1-2-3 struck right back.
Right.
With Winston of all people just jumping up, reaching out and touching Pharah, bringing her down with 1 melee. So even though it was looking good for Bazooka Puppiez, now the element of surprise is gone, and what was looking like a decisive fight wasn't quite so.
It's made Snillo very uncomfortable, though. He's had to rotate out. They are going to have to drop Sound Barrier just to stay in this fight. Meza does get taken out early, a couple of quick kills, as Mete takes a nap on the roof. 1 kill, but it's just Ube. This push is over.
This push is absolutely over, and I don't know. I think this is a point where they probably need to get off the Pharah, and they do. I like the idea of the Pharah to catch them off guard because Bazooka Puppiez hasn't really run as much of it in the series.
Sure.
But they do wisely realize, okay, maybe we shouldn't ride this horse until we die.
Yeah, it's fine to throw a curveball, but you can't throw a curveball when the hitter's expecting it. It does not work as well that way. They're going to get in here pretty early. Again, Ube's blade is going to be the decisive factor. Mistakes looking for a target for his pulse bomb. A solo jump in on the Winston. We'll see if they're able to punish this as he's still all alone up there for the most part. Transcend comes in.
1-2-3 consolidate in the cafe right now, and the Transcends comes out, but you don't have Bazooka Puppiez able to get in on 1-2-3. They're not able to take advantage of this Transcend. They're going to ride it out, and now they're coming back in. Snillo, tac visor on the way, in the cafe, and here we go. He has him in the sights. Ube has the sights on the cafe, and he goes to town. Latte splattering everywhere as he picks up 2. But this fight, still very close, and yet Bazooka Puppiez might have done just enough here, Hex.
They should be fine right now. Clanton with a great sound barrier towards the middle of that fight was able to keep them alive. Another interesting Transcend, not because of the timing, but because Rubicon's Transcended then ran away from his team. I think he's trying to prove a point or something. I don't know exactly what that was, but they're in a decent position now, a little shy of 4 minutes as we enter into the Westworld phase of Hollywood.
I mean, Hex, Transcendence is one of the best maneuvers in the game to retreat from battle. Who's going to kill you? You are invincible and you move at Mach speed. Think about the strategies for your cowardly Zenyatta.
Well, you know, cowards live to the next day, live to fight another day.
That's true.
Snillo has been getting so much damage here. I've been impressed with his 76. Early on, it was just because of his ultimate usage, but just his basic tracking has been very solid as well.
The thing for Snillo is how long is he going to stand the ground here? There is something to be said for being on the high ground as a soldier, but he's not going to have the chance. Kenzie suddenly coming alive. Special delivery here, and Kenzie was the savior of Bazooka Puppiez earlier in the set, and suddenly, Hex, he's turning it on here once more.
Another victory. Transcend comes in after those couple of kills. Rubicon decided to celebrate with his team. Transcend, make sure that they got that fight, got that point. A little shy 3 now as they continue to push forward. Ube with the blade, Mete with self-destruct. This is a great area for both of those things.
It is a very good area indeed. Now, the question here for Ube is that he doesn't know that Bach doesn't have a Transcendence, so I don't think he's going to try and engage outright with the blade. I think he's going to be a little bit cautious with it. But once Bach uses Transcendence here, or they just see support ults get used, expect Ube to go in for a little bit of cleanup.
Well, support ult's ready for this team right now. Might have to use it to keep him alive. Kenzie tries to get in on Snillo, but a headshot will eliminate him from the fight. And I think they really wanted Kenzie in that fight because they're just out now.
Once Kenzie goes down, they were not at all a fan of staying in. But I'm okay with this for Bazooka Puppies. They do have a few good fights left. It's 2 minutes. They have time to get through. The problem is that this next fight, if both teams throw ultimates at each other, it's likely that 1-2-3 is going to win.
You would think. Ube's up top, gonna dance around, does spot that Snillo is up there, but do they have an answer to really get rid of him? A deep dive comes in, combined with a pulse bomb. 3 dead, 3.5 dead as a mech goes down. Ube trying to stay alive, does not.
That is brutal. Even with the Helix rocket from downtown. You know what the real problem there is, Hex, is that not only did they die, but they died without forcing ultimates to F1-2-3. It was only a pulse bomb from mistakes, and pulse bombs don't really play by the same rules as the other ultimates.
No, just an enhanced basic ability, not an ultimate. It's got to be a different name for it. They charge so fast that I feel you're doing your team a disservice if you hold your pulse bomb, because that's just time that you could be getting another one during that. So, huge ultimate showdown. Bazooka Puppies so far has not gotten the better side of these kind of fights. Their ultimate efficiency has not been great. Self-destruct comes in. Rubicon already out of this fight.
Rubicon getting taken out by mistakes. Mistakes just being a terror into the backline. Ube wondering, do I use the blade? Do I not use the blade?
No.
The answer is probably no, as he gets rifle butted right in the grill. Brutality coming out here from 1-2-3 as time ticking away for the Bazooka Puppies. Remember, if they're not able to get through here on second Hex, their run in Contenders will be over.
Mete looking for answers. His Diva's not been the answer for Snillo, and in fact, he's not even really gone for him. However, on the Gibraltar, Mete just 1v1 Snillo several times on Soldier 76, so perhaps he's looking for that right now. And we look at the high ground. They're gonna engage with the barriers, EP.
They're moving in. Bazooka Puppies all in here. Barrier and Transcend's used at the same time. They don't really stagger it all that well, and they pay the price. Ube's going to fall. The good retreat coming in from 1-2-3 works wonders against Bazooka Puppies as they are fighting for dear life. 20 seconds between them and elimination right now, Hex. And 1-2-3 swarming back onto the payload, pushing them back. And Bazooka Puppies cannot afford to be pushed back because if they do not stay on it here in just a moment, their run will be over.
No pack. Kenzie wanted the pack. He's at 26. He's got to get back with his team, but he's solo. Does get healed up. Looking for the pulse bomb. Does not stick the soldier. Unable to finish that kill. Desperation time for Bazooka.
It is overtime, and Bazooka Puppies, they need life soon if they want to stay alive here. They need to get a pickoff. They get one into the backline, but Snillo's being the destroyer of hope. The tack visor is in, and with mistakes charging the backline, that is going to be just about all but over. Meza, one of the last ones remaining, delays for as long as he can, but overtime shall tick down. And 1-2-3, the dark horse on the EU side has made their way to the Overwatch Contender Grand Finals.
Good for them. I mean, this is just a thrown together team, all players from all different countries, not had a whole lot of time together. I really like Denia. He had a lot of just really interesting plays during that. Snillo, destroyer of hope. Like, that's so incongruous. Snillo is such a fun game. Hey, what's your name?
Oh,
Snillo. What's it mean? Destroyer of hope. They play great. I mean, they're in the final. This is huge for them. We talked to these guys, and they're like, yeah, I mean, if we could just make it into the bracket, that'd be great. We're really looking forward to it. They're in the finals.
I'm really glad that was the play of the game there because it should be reminding Bazooka Puppies of their absolute failure there where they transcend at a situation where they didn't need to, and what could have very likely have been a hold on second ends up snowballing against them into them failing to defend at last with 4 seconds remaining. And then for their own attack, it's just rough. They're not able to get anything done. And as a result, 1-2-3 has gotten their way to the grand final.
Yeah, and there's no way about it. The transcendences were not useful. And I think there were 2 reasons. I mean, first of all, there were a few that there was just no way they were going to be useful. There was no follow-up. There was no opportunity. It was just at the wrong time. There were a few, though, where they went in after it, and I don't know if it was the disengage from 1-2-3 or if it was just the lack of actual damage follow-up. Either way you slice it, they weren't able to actually execute on that. Now, that said, we're going to talk about 1, 2, 3 a little bit more because they're going to be in the finals after we watch our next semifinal map. We'll put them on hold. But let's just talk about Bazooka Puppiez because the story of this event, in addition to just trying to get the prize money at the end of today, is getting into Season 1. And the grander story, of course, is where are these players going to stand out and how are these players going to stand out?